Morning, welcome to Resource Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. Well, power on, power off. We'll see what happens. Ohio Edison has said they have equipment failure. They're working on it, so power may be intermittent to our household. So let me ask you something. I've done a video on this prior to this. You have 3 days to act before SHTF or after SHTF before people start acting bad. What are you going to do in those 3 days? Now I want to update this. In those 3 days, first off, determine if it is indeed an SHTF. How are you going to do that? Radio, cell phone, ham radio, walkie-talkie, lines of communication. Do you have those? Can you hear, or are you going to be asking your neighbor, what did you find out? Did you hear anything? Know for yourself. Gather as much information about the situation as quickly as possible and act on it. If it is indeed declared a national emergency, I would definitely, if at all possible, get to the bank and take as much money out as they will allow you. Notice, I said, if they will allow you. In times of emergency, banks will often either be closed, the ATMs will be drained quickly, or they will put a limit on the funds that you can withdraw in times of emergency to make sure everybody kind of gets their share. You're going to be SOL. Get gasoline if the pumps are working. They may not take ATM cards, debit cards. You may have to pay cash. Make sure you have enough cash. And at the price of the pump right now, you better have a $100 bill if you're going to fill up your car, depending on your location and where you're at, or cars. Okay? Same with the quick stop grocery stores, the regular stores. We see it every time when they say, there's a blizzard coming, there's a typhoon coming. The store shelves empty out. DIY stores, same as always. You should have this stuff on hand or ready. All right? If they're out of milk, you should have in your preps powdered milk to make your own milk. Some sort of that. Coffee Mate is another one that works as a milk substitute. Again, these aren't the same as fresh dairy milk, but this is long-term survival. So make sure, A, it is indeed an SHTF through communications, radio, cell phone, ham radios, walkie-talkies, landline telephones. Okay? So determine if it is indeed SHTF. Get to the bank if you can, safely. There might be chaos there. Get as much money as you can. ATMs will probably be drained within the first 3 days. Remember that. We're on the clock. Money, gasoline, food. Next, secure your home. Meaning family, have a plan. If I'm not here, this is what I want you to do. If we're all together, this is what's going to happen. We're going to act as a team, and we're going to go through this. I just did a video on erecting fences for home security. If you do indeed determine it is an SHTF, and you took my advice, our suggestions, to get the T-posts, barbed wire, or fencing, or both, I would immediately start securing my front lawn, my backyard, whatever it is that needs to be secured. I would immediately start doing that. I would make sure I have self-defense, and in the wake of what's happening in Texas, I still am suggesting to you, have firearms, know how to use them safely and accurately, and I would make sure everyone is carrying them while you're securing the perimeter of your house. Again, you cannot defend your house if the street is 50 feet from your front door. But you can make a deterrent for people walking on foot, which is very real possibility, from walking up to your front door and kicking it in. I would secure your front door and windows. If you have sandbags ready to go. I have a pallet sitting here that has 50 sandbags filled. I have it under a tarp so they're not going to rot, get wet, or decay. I have those on a pallet, out of the way, not harming anybody, not detracting from anything. But I have a pallet of sandbags. I just had to put some up in the driveway because of the deluge of rain. I mean, it was like a freaking river coming down our gravel driveway. So I put sandbags out there to transfer the water over the side and not come rushing up on our house. So I'm grateful that I have sandbags, but I have sandbags ready to go to place around your windows or other places that offer you safety to stand behind. Motion lights, battery operated motion lights that you can post around your property for outdoor lighting, as well as taking them off and using them for a portable flashlight. Batteries and candles, along with fuel for hurricane lamps. I would definitely have black visqueen, the plastic black visqueen, to secure the light. Hey, my house is in the dark. I don't know what to tell you. When you actually have light, but you're blocking it to keep it from being a beacon on the street. These are just a few things that you should be doing within the first 3 days once you determine it is indeed an SHTF. If you are part of a group, communicate with those and say, this is plan A, plan B, plan C, whatever you have worked out with your neighbors, your friends, or your mag, your troop, your tribe, whatever you want to call it. Fall back to that immediately and have a way to communicate that. All right? Don't wait till the event happens. You're prepping for what hasn't happened yet. If you're prepared, you won't be afraid. You'll be nervous, you'll be scared, you'll be anxious, but you will have a plan. You will have the equipment to fulfill that plan and execute that plan. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Welcome to the new subscribers. I certainly do appreciate you, and I thank you. Get yourself right with God, asking for forgiveness, and get baptized in water, submerged in water in the name of Jesus Christ. That message will never change. Greg out.